Students, so today we will study chemical properties of phenol. Right, in the previous classes we have finished the properties of alcohol, so we will start with chemical properties of phenol. Now, like alcohol, phenol's property also can be classified into two groups. That is the property due to the phenolic group, that is COH group, and the properties due to the benzene ring. So first we will study the properties due to the phenolic group. Among the properties due to the phenolic group, the first property is its acidic nature, which I have already discussed. Right. The next property is reaction with zinc dust. With sodium metal also you have studied, with alkali also I have discussed. So next with zinc dust. So when phenol, it's a very important reaction, they react with zinc dust, what happens that this ZNO, it is released, zinc oxide is released and benzene is formed. You can see here that zinc oxide is released and benzene is formed. Therefore, this reaction is very important to convert phenol directly to benzene. Right? It's a very easy reaction. When phenol reacts with zinc dust, benzene and zinc oxide is formed. Now, the next reactions which we will study is esterification. You know that the phenols are also a class of alcohol only. So, with carboxylic acid and the acid derivatives, it will undergo esterification reaction. So, esters will be formed. When phenol is treated with any carboxylic acid, it may be aliphatic or aromatic, and let me take here aliphatic. I have taken ethanoic acid in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, then you know that ester will be formed, OOCCH3. Right, so ester will be formed, phenyl acetate. This ester is phenyl acetate, right, or phenyl ethanoate. IUPAC name is phenyl ethanoate. Similarly, you can write the reaction with acid chloride also. When phenol react with ethanoic chloride, whenever the reaction is carried out with acid halide, pyridine is used as a base to remove the acid formed and favor the forward reaction. So again phenyl acetate will be formed, OCOCH3 plus HCl will be removed. So here also phenyl acetate will be formed. Instead of this acid halide, if you take here acetic anhydride, then also the same reaction, but the reaction will take place in the presence of acid, and here instead of HCl you will get CH3 COCH3. Means when phenol reacts with acid anhydride, then also ester and acid, that is acetic acid, is formed. So these all are esterification reactions. A very important esterification reaction is used in our day-to-day life. You have heard the name of aspirin. Aspirin is a very common medicine which is used as an analgesic and antipyretic. What are analgesics? Analgesics are the medicines which are used to relieve pain, and antipyretic are those medicines which are used to relieve fever. So this aspirin is prepared by the esterification of salicylic acid. This compound is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is orthohydroxybenzoic acid, right? So I will write this COH group here and this OH group here, because I will involve the alcoholic group of this salicylic acid and will react with acetic anhydride. Right. So what happens? This acetic acid is removed and acetylation take place. What is acetylation? that is introduction of this acetyl group. COCH3 group is known as acetyl group. So introduction of acetyl group is known as acetylation. So acetylation of salicylic acid will take place. See how? Here OCOCH3. This COCH3 group is introduced, and this compound is known as acetyl salicylic acid. Commonly known as aspirin plus CH3COH. Right, so this is how aspirin is made. By the acetylation of salicylic acid we prepare aspirin. Understood? Similarly, you have heard the name of oil of wintergreen. It is used in preparing iodex. In iodex, the smell of iodex is due to the oil of wintergreen. Oil of wintergreen is methyl salicylate. Right, now we also prepare that oil of wintergreen from the salicylic acid. This is salicylic acid, and this is treated with methanol. When we treat with methanol, then this water will be removed. Again, esterification is taking place. See, this is carboxylic acid, this is alcohol. Here in the preparation of aspirin, we are taking alcoholic group of this, then here acid derivative. Here we are taking acetic group of this, then here alcohol. So esterification is taking place, and we are making an ester, COOCH3. This compound is known as methyl salicylate. This is oil of wintergreen. The smell of iodex is due to this oil of wintergreen. This is naturally found in eucalyptus plant. Therefore, eucalyptus plant has high commercial value. If you will pluck the leaf of eucalyptus plant and you will smell it, you will have the smell of that oil of wintergreen. Right? So, two important compounds, aspirin as well as oil of wintergreen. It is obtained by the esterification of salicylic acid. Understood? So, the next reaction we will further study about where the phenolic group is involved, that is reaction with ferric chloride, neutral ferric chloride. Reaction with neutral ferric chloride. And students, this reaction, it is used for test of phenolic group, phenolic or enolic group. What is enolic group? Which is where your hydroxyl group is attached to double bonded carbon. This is enolic group, right? So all the compounds which contain this enolic group, they give this reaction. With neutral ferric chloride, they give a particular color, right? And we can identify that this group is present. See how? In the case of phenol, first of all, when we treat it with water, it is neutral ferric chloride, means ferric chloride dissolved in water. So when phenol reacts with water, then hydronium ion is removed and we get a phenoxide ion. This phenoxide ion, when reacts with ferric chloride, then this I can write it as C6H5O minus, right? This is 6 times Fe, and the valency will be 3 minus. This complex will be formed, right? And this is a violet colored complex in case of phenol. So a violet colored complex will be formed here. Got it? Here you can write Cl3 also. Instead of 3 minus, put here Cl3. So that violet colored complex will be formed. And this is a test that phenolic group is present. With other such as alpha naphthol will give you green color, beta naphthol will give you red color. So with different compounds you will get different colors. With phenol you will get violet color, and it is used as a phenol test for the phenolic group. Got it? So next we will study the reactions due to benzene ring. So students, you can see reactions due to benzene ring. Here we will study electrophilic substitution reactions in phenol. In phenol we have this hydroxyl group present. Now due to this hydroxyl group, the lone pair of electrons are present on oxygen, right? And it is ortho and para directing group. Why it is ortho and para directing group? Because it has plus M effect. It is electron donating to the benzene ring, right? And when it donates the electron, you can see we are getting the negative charge at ortho and para position, and hence the electrophile can easily come and attack at those ortho and para position, and therefore it is ortho and para directing group, right? So all the reactions in which phenolic group is involved, there the ortho and para substitution will take place, and due to its highly activating nature, due to the this plus M effect, this is highly activating. So benzene ring is highly activated, and under milder conditions also it will undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. So next we will study about the electrophilic substitution reactions one by one, right? So first we will study nitration. Now generally the nitration is done in the presence of nitrating mixture, that is concentrated nitric acid and sulfuric acid. But here in the case of phenol, due to highly activating nature of this hydroxyl group, the nitration can be carried out even in the presence of dilute nitric acid. And when this phenol, it is treated with dilute nitric acid, then ortho and para substitution take place. You know this, that always the para product is a major product, whereas the ortho product is a minor product. So here also in the same way we will get ortho nitrophenol and we get para-nitrophenol, orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. This is orthonitrophenol and this is para-nitrophenol. This orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol can be easily separated by steam distillation. How? This orthonitrophenol, it is steam volatile. Why it is steam volatile? Due to the presence of intramolecular hydrogen bonding. See, within the molecule the hydrogen bonding is possible, and therefore these molecules, they do not bond to the other molecule and they remain isolated, so easily they separate out at low temperature, hence they are steam volatile. Whereas in the case of para-nitrophenol, we have intermolecular hydrogen bonding. See, we have intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So two molecules will be attached together, and when two molecules are attached together, it is difficult to separate, so they have high boiling point, so they will not be steam volatile. So therefore when we distill it, this will vaporize first, we can collect the vapors and condense it, and this will remain in the distillation flask, so both of them can be easily separated. So in the presence of dilute nitric acid, we got orthonitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. Understood? Now let us see what happens when we take concentrated nitric acid. Nitration also we will study twice, that is with dilute nitric acid as well as with the concentrated nitric acid. So let us see what happens with concentrated nitric acid. When we take here concentrated nitric acid or nitrating mixture, tri-substitution will take place. At all the ortho-para positions, the nitro group will come. Here, here and also here. So you will get here 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. It is also known as picric acid. So picric acid is formed. So with concentrated nitric acid or with nitrating mixture, this phenol is producing picric acid, right? But with dilute it is producing ortho or nitrophenol. But here the yield of picric acid is very low. Why it is very low? Because most of the phenol get oxidized under the given condition. Therefore, to prepare picric acid, we can have an alternative method, that first do the sulfonation of phenol. When you will do the sulfonation of phenol, you will get sulfonic acid group at ortho and para position. Di-substituted product, phenol 2,4-disulfonic acid will be formed. Phenol 2,4-disulfonic acid will be formed. This will be treated with nitric acid to give you picric acid, right? So first you do sulfonation, and after sulfonation you treat it with nitric acid to give you picric acid, and here sulfuric acid will be removed. 2 molecules will be removed. Got it? So this may be also the method to prepare the picric acid. Understood nitration? Now next we will come to the halogenation. So just like nitration, the halogenation of phenol can be also done in 2 ways. The first way is in the presence of apolar solvents or non-polar solvents, right? Such as carbon tetrachloride or carbon disulfide at lower temperatures. So what happens when phenol, it is treated with bromine in the presence of this non-polar solvent at 273, means 0 degrees Celsius. See, so low temperature. Then ortho and para substitution will take place, means you will get here orthobromophenol and parabromophenol. Similarly, the major will be the para product and the minor will be the ortho product. So mono substitution will take place, right? We will take here twice to balance it. So in this way, when phenol is treated with bromine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride at a lower temperature, orthobromo and parabromophenol, this is orthobromophenol and this is parabromophenol is formed. Orthobromophenol and parabromophenol is formed. Now if you do the bromination in the presence of water, if the bromination is carried out in the presence of water, then again at all the 3 places the bromine will be added, substituted, not added, substituted, and you will get here (2,4,6-tribromophenol). What is this? It is 2,4,6-tribromophenol. It's a white precipitate. So white precipitate will be formed. So you can see that when phenol is treated with bromine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride, you will get ortho and para bromo products, whereas when it is treated with bromine in the presence of water, you will get 2,4,6-tribromophenol. Right? Now come to the alkylation. Next one is alkylation. Now students, in the case of phenol, since the OH group, the oxygen is containing lone pair of electron, and you know that this alkylation is done in the presence of Lewis acids such as anhydrous AlCl3 or ferric chloride. Now they are Lewis acids and they are deficient of electrons. So what will happen? They will bond with they will form a coordinate bond with the oxygen, taking up the lone pair of electron present at the oxygen, right? And therefore the activity of the OH group will be slowed down. Therefore, the reaction, that is alkylation, is not done in the presence of AlCl3. Instead, it is done in the presence of hydrogen fluoride. Right. So, in alkylation, the reaction will be done in the presence of HF instead of AlCl3 or FeCl3. Here we will take any haloalkane. You know that in alkylation we take any haloalkane. Here instead of anhydrous aluminium chloride we will take hydrofluoric acid. Similarly, this, sorry, not here, it will remain as from here H will be removed, so you will get ortho and para substituted products. Right, this is known as orthocresol and this is known as paracresol. So orthocresol and paracresol is formed by the alkylation. Right, now next we will study hydrogenation. Right, hydrogenation of phenol. Now hydrogenation of phenol is done in the presence of nickel catalyst. So when phenol is hydrogenated in the presence of nickel catalyst at 533 Kelvin temperature, high temperature is required, right? Then we get at all the places, on all these places, the substitution take place and we get cyclohexanol. Right, cyclohexanol is formed. Hydrogen get added across all the double bonds and we get cyclohexanol, that is hydrogenation. Now next come to oxidation. Students, phenol, it is a colorless liquid, right? But when it is kept for a longer period of time in the presence of air, then what happens? Oxidation of phenol take place, and due to oxidation of phenol, there is conjugated diketones are formed, which are known as quinones. Conjugated diketones are formed, which are known as quinones. These quinones are colored, they are pink or brown colored. Due to this, phenol will develop color over the period of time, and you will feel that phenol is pink or brown colored, but actually it is colorless. The color develops due to the oxidation of phenol. Right, let us see the reaction. When phenol, either it is oxidized in the presence of air, or you can take here chromic acid. Chromic acid is formed by reacting potassium or sodium dichromate with sulfuric acid. Right, so oxidation take place and diketones, this is known as benzoquinone. Here it is benzoquinone, but if any other phenol is there, then any type of quinones will be formed. This benzoquinone is a conjugated diketone. Type is conjugated diketone, which is colored, and due to that this phenol also develops color. Understood? Otherwise it is colorless. So that is oxidation. Now the next reaction is Kolb's reaction. Kolb-Schmidt reaction, it is known as. Or simply it may be known as Kolb reaction. So here, due to this phenolic group, right, you know that phenols, this alcoholic group, due to this alcoholic group, this phenol is highly reactive. Further, if you treat this phenol with aqueous NaOH, what happens? You studied this reaction. Sodium phenoxide is formed, and this phenoxide ion, it is further more reactive, and it is so reactive that even if a weak electrophile is there, such as carbon dioxide, in the presence of acid at 6 to 7 atmospheric pressure and 413 Kelvin temperature, it will undergo substitution, and orthohydroxybenzoic acid or 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, that is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is formed. We have used the salicylic acid to prepare aspirin, right? So the name of the salicylic acid, IUPAC name is 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. 2-hydroxybenzoic acid is formed. So this reaction is known as Kolb-Schmitt reaction. That when phenol is treated with first sodium hydroxide, right, and then phenoxide ion is formed. Phenoxide ion is treated with weak electrophile such as carbon dioxide. Then we get salicylic acid, orthohydroxybenzoic acid. This reaction is known as Kolb-Schmitt reaction. Now the last reaction of phenols is a very important reaction, which is known as Riemer-Tiemann reaction. Riemer-Tiemann reaction. Now what is Riemer-Tiemann reaction? In Riemer-Tiemann reaction, when phenol study this Riemer-Tiemann reaction. This Riemer-Tiemann reaction is a very important reaction. Here first the phenol is treated with sodium hydroxide and it will be converted to sodium phenoxide. See here, sodium hydroxide, it will be converted to sodium phenoxide, and then this sodium phenoxide will be treated with chloroform, or you can also treat with carbon tetrachloride. We will study both of them one by one. So first with chloroform. When it is treated with chloroform, then the ortho substitution take place, right? Here ONA, and at ortho position this CHCl2 will come. One chlorine from here, one hydrogen from here, it will be removed in the form of HCl. Now it is further treated with sodium hydroxide. This is substituted benzyl. This intermediate is formed. It is substituted benzyl chloride. Substituted benzyl chloride. Now this substituted benzyl chloride has 2 chlorine here. When it is treated with 2 NaOH, then 2 NaCl is removed, and OH groups, 2 OH group will come here. So here CHOH whole twice. Now when one carbon contains 2 OH group, it becomes highly stable, so it releases water molecule. From here water molecule is released. And it will be converted to aldehyde group, right? Sodium salicylaldehyde is formed, and then it is treated with H plus or any acid. So here sodium ion will be replaced by hydrogen ion, and we get salicylaldehyde. Salicylaldehyde will be formed, right? So this is how the reaction is known as Riemer-Tiemann reaction. First phenol is converted to phenoxide ion, and then phenoxide ion is treated with chloroform to give you intermediate, that is substituted benzyl chloride, which is treated with sodium hydroxide to give you salicylaldehyde. Understood? Now if the same reaction is carried out with carbon tetrachloride, instead of chloroform you can take here carbon tetrachloride, right? Then again HCl will be removed, and instead of CHCl2 here CCl3 will become. Here CCl3 will come. Then here we will take 3 moles of NaOH, and 3 NaCl will be removed, and here it will come COH whole thrice, right? Instead of CHOH whole twice, COH whole thrice. Again here there are 3 hydroxyl group, it is unstable, So one water molecule will be removed, and when one water molecule will be removed, then here actually COH will be left. But when we have here COH should come, but when we have carboxylic acid group and alcoholic group, the sodium salt of carboxylic group is more stable than sodium salt of alcohol. So interchange of this ion will take place. So here OH will come, here COO Na will come, right? And further it will react with NaOH. One more molecule of NaOH it will take up, and then this phenol, it will also convert into sodium salt, right? Then upon acidification, both the sodium ions, they will be replaced by the hydrogen to give salicylic acid. So see here students, when you are taking here carbon tetrafluoride, then the end result is salicylic acid. When you are taking chloroform, the end result of salicylaldehyde. Otherwise the reaction is same. So this reaction is known as Riemann reaction. Now the properties of phenol is finished. In the next class we will start ethers.